The invention of CCTV has led to many criminals who never have been caught being caught, but as an unexpected side effect, it's also seen an influx in capturing the paranormal in action. So in this video, we are going to talk about most disturbing security cam captures. The video is going to be shocking, so make sure you stick to the end. Bear opens the car door. One of the things I'm taking away from this list is that bears just seem to be really good at opening doors, which is really concerning to me because I live right next to a forest. Do you think the Planet of the Apes is going to be a thing eventually? I'm beginning to believe in a future where bears become our overlords. Anyways, in this video, we see a bear opening a car door while out in the woods. This group of people had parked their Mercedes in the driveway. That's a bear with great taste, and it's obviously a totally normal thing to do, right? Well, when the people inside the house see that there's a black bear headed right for the car, that's when they try to scare it away with loud noises. However, that doesn't stop the curious bear from heading toward it. The people on the deck then continue to make loud noises, trying to frighten the bear away. But once the bear opens the freaking door, that's when the people begin to scream. This gets the bear's attention. And because the people are now totally freaking out, the bear then gets scared and runs off into the woods. And here I thought that it was just scared of the high maintenance costs that would incur in that Mercedes over a vengeful time. So it just goes to show you people, if you see a bear, don't run, just act like a lunatic. The real ghost that keeps watchmen from falling asleep. Finally, it is a real ghost. It's about time we got some high-quality, indisputable footage of a bona fide supernatural entity. It's what we've all been waiting for. This scene shows a man sitting in a plastic chair, who seems to be a watchman of some sort, presumably tasked with sitting outside. This building, for some purpose or another, definitely a legitimate one. It's not to star in a YouTube video of ghostly activity. I'm sure anyways, what we're being shown here is a windy night outside some apartment building. You can see just how windy it is, what with all this stuff lying about in front of the camera, and the tree that sways in the breeze. Now you may or may not be aware, but when it's windy outside, well, things can get blown about. It's just a fact. Even if you'd like to imagine that things can only move around by supernatural means, sometimes it's just the wind. But as the video progresses, all 10.5 minutes of it, the guy seems to be getting more and more flustered by all the stuff that keeps blowing toward him or clattering around out of shot. But what do you think? Is this dude just super paranoid? Or is there a very cheeky ghost doing a lot of naughty menacing? Let's have a jolly good discussion about all things spooky and supernatural in the comments down below. Are there prankster ghosts out there messing with people, or is haunting just a serious business? This image should chill you to the core. A poor young girl was having terrible dreams for some time. Convinced that something of a paranormal nature was triggering the dreams, she then installed some cameras, and when she reviewed the footage, it was corrupted, but one image remained. Just this single frame, which is utterly chilling. This CCTV footage is freaking people out, and understandably so. As always, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Man on mobility scooter disrupts Melbourne freeway traffic. When you got to get somewhere, well, you just got to get there. And this older gentleman on a mobility scooter really needed to get somewhere, his logic. Well, what better way to get there than to go by the highway? Well, he's not wrong, but I suppose he forgot to calculate the fact that he's on a friggin' mobility scooter. A man by the name of Bruce Bromley would be making his way down the same highway when he saw the man on the scooter in the far left lane. He follows him for quite a while, trying to reason with him and get him to stop or at least pull over, but the guy is just not having it. After a while, Bruce then decides to get the police involved. And after an even longer time of cars passing and honking, we finally see a cruiser come up and stop the old guy in an adorably old guy fashion, though he signals his turn onto the shoulder by raising his left hand. Before we move on, support us by hitting subscribe and the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Now, let's get back to our topic. The back rooms found footage. So to start things off today, we have some of that so-called found footage that the internet is so very fond of putting all over the place these days. And apparently, this CCTV footage is freaking viewers out. In a world that's completely stuffed to the brim with footage, I mean, every Wally has a camera in their hands 90% of the time, don't they? It really seems to be easy to stumble across found footage every 5 minutes. But here we have some which are from the game known as the Backrooms. This is a psychological horror game in which participants find themselves lost in a seemingly endless maze of offices, and empty rooms sound like a whole barrel of laughs anyways. The general idea appears to be to escape the backrooms while dealing with a full load of scary stuff along the way. So this is really just promotional material for the game now, isn't it? But please correct me if you believe differently. That's exactly what the comment section is for after all. 9-year-old girl tricks suspicious stalker in Russia. Now, this is a scary video in the truest sense of the word. Frankly, stuff like this is deeply unpleasant and disturbing. But fortunately, it appears that the young girl in the video was pretty switched on and felt the dangerous vibes that were emanating from this creep. The video is apparently from Moscow, where this 9-year-old girl was returning home to the apartment building where she lives when a seedy-looking man notices that she was alone and begins to stalk her. It really is upsetting to watch this sinister event unfold, but fortunately, the little girl is aware that he seems to be following her and manages to duck away from his pursuit and get back out of the building. The pervert then seems to realize that she's left, and he exits the premises as well. The child can be seen returning to the building, this time with an adult accompanying her. It ended all right on this occasion, but this video is more than enough to give anyone that chills. I'm going to have a whole new selection of nightmares now. Elisa Lam. Sometimes the scary videos can also be very, very sad. And in some instances, we should remember that real people are affected by bad things. And this isn't just an endless parade of nonsense and poor quality Photoshop shenanigans. That's the end of my TED talk. This footage appears to capture a young woman in severe mental distress, but as is the way of all things Hollywood, and anything with a bit of mystery involved. It's been taken by the media and turned into a big story. In 2013, a young Canadian woman named Elisa Lam went missing in Los Angeles. The last known footage of Lam showed her behaving strangely in the elevator of a hotel in which she was staying. The notorious Skid Row landmark called the Cecil Hotel. This place is synonymous with grim crimes and unpleasant events, so that made the disappearance even more of a tantalizing prospect for media vultures. Anyways, the video showed Lam repeatedly pressing the buttons inside the elevator and then exiting and re-entering the space several times, while also getting seemingly more agitated during the whole process. She would then vanish, and it wasn't until almost 3 weeks later that her body was discovered in a water tank on the roof of the building. The case would ultimately be closed, and the cause of her death was recorded as accidental drowning, with bipolar disorder listed alongside as a significant factor, but that hasn't stopped conspiracy theorists from poking their origin. And she was trying to find something else underneath the official story. It's likely you already know a bunch more about this case, as there is, of course, a Netflix documentary about it. CCTV camera captures the scary moment a witch appeared in the house, the classic witch captured on camera. Everybody knows that witches always have broomsticks and do nighttime rituals in front of video cameras, right? So this witch is dressed in white and waddles into the shot on a broomstick, all extremely realistic, I'm sure. Then they seem to spend the next excruciating minutes doing a particularly lame ritual that's essentially a rubbish dance, or stomping around in the area outside the house. They really do keep it up for a long while. Are you especially creeped out by this, or did you accidentally laugh out loud a little bit? I know I did. I certainly hope nobody's about to ride into town on a broomstick and hex the heck out of perhaps the most bizarre thing about this insane video is just how long this person decided to keep up with all the nonsense 6.5 minutes of dancing about and waggling stuff around outside this house. Don't witches have other things to do, like stir cauldrons or cackle really loud? As we've seen on our list, there's always someone peeking in on those moments when we think nobody's watching. So why even care about it? Which one of these videos seems to be the weirdest to you? Make sure to leave a comment below. Remember to subscribe to see our next video, and also check out the other cool stuff that's showing up on the screen, and I'll see you next time.